Early life and beginnings. Paulo Jorge Gomes Bento, born on June 20, 1970, in Lisbon, Portugal, showed early promise as a footballer. Raised in a football-centric family, his journey into the sport was almost inevitable. Bento's career began at Sporting CP, one of Portugal's leading clubs. From the age of 13, he progressed through the club's youth ranks, displaying a blend of skill, tactical intelligence, and leadership. By the age of 18, he made his debut with the first team in 1988, playing as a midfielder. His early years in Sporting's youth system helped develop his technical abilities, while his strong sense of responsibility on the pitch made him stand out even in his formative years. Breakthrough and rise to prominence. Bento's rise at Sporting CP was marked by his ability to read the game, his tough tackling, and his consistency. He was the epitome of a box-to-box midfielder, comfortable both in defense and attack. As he matured, Bento became a key figure in Sporting's midfield. And his leadership qualities shone through. By the early 1990s, Bento was regularly starting for the team and earned his first call-up to the Portugal national team in 1992. His versatility and strong presence in the midfield earned him a reputation as one of the country's most promising footballers. His time at Sporting was marked by domestic success. Bento helped the club win the Primeira Liga title in 2000, their first in nearly 18 years. He was integral in the team's performances during the late 1990s and early 2000s, playing a crucial role in key victories in both the domestic league and cup competitions. Career peak, international recognition. Paulo Bento's career reached its peak in the early to mid-2000s. By the time the 2004 UEFA European Championship came around, Bento was an established player for Portugal. His tough, no-nonsense style of play made him a key figure in the national team. Under coach Luís Felipe Scolari, Bento was part of a golden generation of Portuguese players, including Luís Figo, Rui Costa, and Cristiano Ronaldo. In the 2004 European Championship, Bento's combative midfield play helped Portugal reach the final, where they narrowly lost to Greece in a historic upset. While Portugal's loss in the final was disappointing, the team's performances throughout the tournament established them as one of the best in Europe, and Bento was recognized as a critical part of the team's success. His career continued to shine at the club level, too. After his time with Sporting, Bento moved to Benfica in 2005, where he briefly played before transitioning to Besiktas in Turkey in 2006. At Besiktas, Bento was known for his steady presence in midfield and his work ethic, though his most significant contributions came on the international stage. Main achievements, domestic and international glory. Paulo Bento's main achievements came both in domestic competitions and with the Portugal national team. Primeira Liga titles. As a key player for Sporting CP, Bento contributed to the club's league victories in 2000 and 2002, solidifying his status as a key figure in Portuguese football. UEFA Euro 2004. Bento was an integral part of Portugal's squad that reached the final, showcasing his skill and leadership on the continental stage. FIFA World Cup 2006. Bento was also part of the squad for the 2006 FIFA World Cup, where Portugal finished in fourth place. His performances in the tournament, though not as prominent as his teammates, helped shape the midfield dynamics. International caps. Over the course of his international career, Bento earned 50 caps for Portugal, with his defensive midfield role being a crucial one for the national team's success in the early 2000s. At the club level, Bento enjoyed success with both Sporting CP and Benfica, though it was his time in Portugal's top-flight league and with the national team that garnered the most attention. Last years as a player and retirement. As Bento entered the latter stages of his playing career, he began facing increased competition and a gradual decline in his physical abilities. His last years as a player saw him transition from a dynamic box-to-box midfielder to more of a steady, experienced figure in the middle of the park. He played for Besiktas in Turkey from 2006 to 2008, before moving on to finish his career with Songnam Ilhwa Chuanma in South Korea in 2009, where he spent one season before retiring from professional football in 2010. At this stage, Bento's role had shifted more to that of a mentor, and he became a key presence for younger players in the dressing room. Despite no major trophies during his time abroad, Bento's experience and leadership were invaluable, helping guide his teams through competitive seasons. Post-retirement, transition to coaching. After retiring as a player, Paulo Bento swiftly transitioned into a career in coaching. His deep understanding of the game, strategic mind, and strong leadership qualities made him a natural fit for management. His first managerial role came with Sporting CP, where he took over the reins in 2010. Bento's tenure at Sporting saw him manage the club through some challenging times. Although he was able to develop several young players who would go on to achieve great success. Bento then moved on to manage the South Korea national team, where he spent several years from 2018 to 2020, further establishing himself as a manager of international repute. His coaching career was marked by his disciplined, organized style of play, and his ability to get the best out of both young and experienced players. Bento has managed several clubs and national teams throughout his managerial career, including stints at Al Ittihad, Saudi Arabia, Olympiacos, Greece, and his most recent role with Olympiacos in 2020. His legacy in the coaching world continues to grow, with him earning respect as a tactician and a mentor. Legacy. Paulo Bento's legacy in Portuguese football is defined not just by his time on the pitch, but also by his managerial career, which continues to inspire many. As a player, he was a tenacious, hard-working midfielder who played a vital role in Portugal's most successful era on the international stage. His contributions in both the 2004 European Championship and the 2006 World Cup remain fondly remembered by Portuguese fans. His leadership, both on and off the field, has left a lasting impact on Sporting CP and the national team. As a manager, Bento has built on his experience as a player, developing young talent and leading clubs and national teams through difficult periods. In conclusion, Paulo Bento's career was one of both individual excellence and team success. From his early days in Sporting's youth academy to his impact on Portugal's national team, Bento's influence on Portuguese football cannot be overstated. Today, he remains one of the most respected figures in the sport, and his legacy continues to inspire future generations of players and managers alike.